Hello race fans and welcome to the Ultimate eDriver series presented by the race driver coach here from Circuit Spa Francorchamps. My name is Peter Mackay and joining me in the commentary box this evening is Jack Cannan and bringing you these beautiful images from a virtual spa today and these very fancy graphics is Marco Barbanera in the production booth in Rome. Jack, you called the first of the Ultimate eDriver series. What can we expect here over the next couple of days?
You can expect absolute mental racing is what you can expect. It's great to be back in the Ultimate eDriver series once again, put together by, of course, Enzo Mucci, the race driver coach, and he's out on the grid today. So thanks for having us back once again, Enzo. But if you're the Ultimate eDriver series, the first one, we broadcast on BT Sport all the way back in the first lockdown. Remember when we had only one lockdown? That's the last time that we were with this series. And the first round before that was, of course, the lockdown series as well, and the first round was actually right here at Spa, so we're going right back to the start once again. So we're here for about a week, I think, for the Ultimate eDriver series, a new track and car combo each day, so do not miss out on this. And they're currently in qualifying at the moment. And Peter, before we were chatting about this series, and I know you've got your contacts on your phone, Peter. What can you tell us?
Well, the man sitting on pole position right now, Mike Epps, is he actually gave me a bit of a top tip about the tyres. Apparently, it takes about 5 or 6 laps for the tyres to get up to their optimum performance, which is quite unusual indeed. But right now, Mike obviously making the most of those tyres, a 211.9, which is about 6 to 7 tenths of a second off what we've seen in practice. But, of course, here in qualifying, you've only got 2 flying laps, so it's all about who can lay it on the line. We've also got, now you can tell I'm really impartial, the Scotsman Sandy Mitchell in 6th position right now, the Lamborghini factory driver. And, Jack, I can imagine being a Lamborghini factory driver. That must involve sort of underwear models in Milan and all sorts of fancy places like that, surely.
Sure. Why would he be driving for a Lamborghini otherwise?
Well, exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, that's exactly why he's, of course, driving for Lamborghini. But a new man goes to the top. It's Raul Hyman, who, of course, we're very familiar with over the course of a couple of other series. But Phil Dennis goes to the top once again. He's a man we've seen, of course, in the Ultimate eDriver series over the course of the year as well. And that is a man, of course, who's extremely quick in these F3 cars. You may know as a familiar name in P5, Barrichello. That is, of course, Dudu Barrichello, Eduardo Barrichello, who is, of course, the son of Rubens. And word is coming in, by the way, that we may be expecting Rubens to join him later on in the series. So it'll be great to have him on the grid. He was on the grid in the previous series as well. But, of course, for those of you who are joining in, you're probably going to recognize a lot of names along the left-hand side right there. Phil Dennis at the top, Mike Epps in P2, Raul Hyman in P3. Every single one of these guys is a real-life race driver, and they get to battle it out on the virtual grid. And there's 60 cars today who are going to be battling it out in heat races. 15 from each go through, and then we have a consolation race and the final race of the evening as well. But it looks like another pole position in the series for Phil Dennis ahead of Mike Epps. Should be interesting.
Indeed, yeah, good performance from Phil, a very, very fast sim racer and in the real world too. So, starting this opening heat will be Phil Dennis from Indy Pro 2000 alongside Raul Hyman, a man we know very well here from the Apex Racing Academy F3 series. On row 2 will be Luke Browning and Robert Dahan. Sandy Mitchell, the Scotsman, in 5th with Bastien Boos in 6th. Callum Bradshaw will start 7th, followed by Elias Seppänen, Jonathan Hoggard, Victor Anderson, Josh Malin and Alfred Nielsen rounding out the first dozen. Matthew Payne will start from 13th alongside Jaden Conwright, followed by Kiko Porto, Dino Beganovic, Russell Soto, Harry Cottrell, Enzo Mucci, the race driver coach, our host this evening, Tom Empson in 20th, Martinus Stenshorn in 21st, followed by Taylor Bernard, Ollie Behrman and Oliver Meadows rounding out the top 24, and finally Brandon Abraham and Dan Camish, the British touring car driver, the man who came within a mile of winning the 2019 British Touring Car Championship. A very fine driver indeed. Won every single race in the 2013 Formula Ford Championship, which is a mind-boggling statistic when you think about it. But just from this heat, Jack, we've only got 15 places to go through to the final from this race. So there's going to be a few who might be a bit disappointed.
Yeah, but they've got, of course, got that second chance consolation race, which will be absolutely. That'll be absolutely chaotic, as it always was in this series. But interesting to see now is, of course, Phil Dennis and Raoul Hyman. How are they? Are they going to battle it out? Are they going to just let each other go? We'll wait and see. But they're going to be. It's going to be a rolling start for these guys, which should be to their advantage, getting away from the line. So Phil Dennis on the right of your picture, Raoul Hyman on the other side of him, and then just behind would be Robert De Haan. I don't think somebody did not make the grid there, so there's going to be a bit of a mixing around right there as well. But be interested to see how Dan Camish gets on from the back. But we of course now wait to go. Phil Dennis on the left of your picture, and Raoul Hyman on the right of your picture as we head to the start of heat race number 1. 15 will go through, the rest will go to the consolation. Get ready to go here with the lights about to come on here in Spa for the beginning of the Ultimate eDriver series. For the next week, across the line we go. Green light is in and Phil Dennis leads away. Sandy Mitchell with a great getaway from row number 2, going 3 abreast. They go in the background with Callum Bradshaw and Robert De Haan. Jonathan Hogarth getting in the mix as well as they come through last source for the first time spinner, and that's Jaden Conrad, I think, who was sent around in the middle of the pack right there. So it's immediately there's been casualties in turn number 1. Not exactly what we wanted to see. It was always going to happen in the last source, but Phil Dennis got the getaway he needs, and then Robert De Haan leads Raoul Hyman, Hogarth, Bus and Malin up Eau Rouge for the first time.
Yeah, brilliant start from Phil Deans in the Bureau Sud competition machine, but Sandy Mitchell right in the draft. But look at the gaggle of cars behind Raoul Hyman, not making a great start. He's halfway on the grass. Oh my goodness me, Raoul Hyman in the number 93, and Sandy Mitchell's been swamped coming up into Les Combes. Oh my goodness me, we saw this so many times in the ARA F3 series, didn't we, Jack, where Raoul Hyman just not quite as good off the starts, but he's managed to recover. But great job from Haan in the number 46 machine, the Dutchman up to second place.
Yeah, Robert De Haan did very well. Josh Malin battling away with the Dane right there on the outside lines. They come through no name. Look at the squeeze getting put on there as they head down towards Pouan for the first time. Trying to get up the inside, can't quite do it. But there is Raoul Hyman. We look at him here with Jonathan Hogarth chasing him down big time. Sandy Mitchell lashed onto the rear wing of Jonathan Hogarth as well as they come up to the final chicane for the first time of just a 4-lap race in this one. It's going to be fast and chaotic. As a little mistake there from Jonathan Hogarth almost let Sandy Mitchell through, but look at these guys battling it up. We have Alfred Nilsson and Victor Anderson goes up to the back of them as well. We're very familiar with Victor Anderson as well in that P9 spot, but as we now ride on board with Bastien Bus as they head up towards the next left-hander. This is going to be very, very hairy as they come up towards here. Look at this. Sandy Mitchell to the outside line, going to go 3 abreast towards the left-hander. Unbelievable. And round the outside, maybe there's going to be contact. Surely not. As they come up towards the bus stop chicane. That's unbelievable driving from all of them up the inside. Goes Sandy Mitchell trying to get it done on Bastien Bus right there. And does he get it done? Yes, he has. Take a breath for a moment until he lap number 1.
That's carnage. Absolute carnage. 3 wide through Blanchimont. Well, I guess it takes 3 professional racing drivers to go through there clean, but Sandy Mitchell just survives there, running the Black Bull Scotch whisky livery on his car. The man from Forfar. I have to say, Black Bull, very nice Scotch whisky, made by the folks at Duncan Taylor in Huntly in Scotland. Also make good shortbread in that particular town that goes by the name of, and I'm not kidding, Deans.
Well,
also
that works well for who we just looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works quite well. Russell Sota and a couple of others into the pit lane with damage. As we look now, this battle continues to rage. Bastien Bus, that's Sandy Mitchell right behind him. Here comes Josh Malin. He wants a piece of the action. He goes around the outside of Sandy Mitchell into the chicane. Unbelievable stuff from Josh Malin, GT5 champion this year, of course. But he's now gone a little bit wide on the curb, so he may be a little bit vulnerable to Sandy Mitchell right there, but not quite. So Bastien Bus, the Dane, he hangs on for now. Josh Malin very much in the mix. Jonathan Hogarth falling down a little bit. He's falling into the clutches of Elias Seppinen in P8. And then Alfred Nilsson and Victor Anderson, the 2 Swedes, are trying to latch themselves onto the back of this train as well. But going really well so far. The guys have managed to somehow keep it clean, somehow through 3 wide through Blanchimont. with Kiko Porto. Spins it in P1. Do they avoid? Yes, they do somehow. Well done, Enzo Mucci, the race driver coach, managing to get through, but some did not manage to get through right there. So that was, I think, that was Matthew Payne, I think, who we saw there, and Dino Boganovic, who unfortunately came a cropper there. But good avoiding action by two of those cars, but unfortunate little collision in P1 right there. That's going to send them straight to the consolation race. But there's your top three. Phil Dennis, Robert DeHaan and Raoul Hyman are gone.
Yep, they are indeed. And whoa, look at this pump drafting an enemy car. Come and get a bit of it. Seppinen riding on board with him. He's got Jonathan Hoggard right ahead, nudging away. Oh my goodness me. Getting very friendly. Lunges up the inside at the bus stop. Can he get it stopped in time? Yes. Well, there's pressure, Jack Canan, and there's that.
That's unbelievable. I've seen it before in this series, but not quite to that extent, as Elias Seppinen gets the job done and Jonathan Hoggard, we just saw Josh Malin got the job done on Sandy Mitchell. Bastian Booz goes up the inside of Sandy Mitchell. Now this could get interesting. There's now about 5 of them involved in this battle now as they head up towards Eau Rouge. Well, Sandy Mitchell's having a think about it to go up the inside of Eau Rouge. He's not going to quite get up there, but now he's going to be almost pushing Bastian Booz up Eau Rouge through the left-hander at the top of the kink. Now on board with Bastian Booz. He's now got Josh Malin from the look at this one, doing bump drafting again down the Kemmel Straight as now the outside goes Bastian Booz. Where is Sandy Mitchell going to go? He's going to try and slot in somewhere here. They both get in front of Josh Malin as they head towards the next right-hander, and they managed to sort it out, but again they were bump drafting through there, and it's great to see. But Elias Seppinen and Jonathan Hoggard firmly on the back right now, so this has become a 5-car fight for P4.
Fantastic stuff. Of course, Sandy Mitchell won the 2020 Spa 24-hour in class with in the silver class with Rob Collard, the British touring car driver. So knows the circuit very, very well. But in single seater, it's a completely different ball game, and this is 4 laps, not 24 hours. So completely different challenge altogether. But oh, look at that! Malin getting Seppinen to go all the way around the outside, and Seppinen is on the charge in that number 31. That fantastic. Oh dear. Oh, that's not cricket.
Oh, I think there could have been netcode involved right there. Poor Josh Malin on the receiving end of that one. I think he just about managed to keep it out of the wall, but that's unfortunate for him because Elias Seppinen managed to hang it around the whole way around the outside of P1, which is not easy, and managed to get the move done eventually. But there is our race leader, Phil Dennis. Robert DeHaan is P2, 1.6 behind him, and then Raoul Hyman just about in draft range of him in P2 as they begin to cross the line for the white flag. So they're still fighting hard here. This is Sandy Mitchell with Bastian Booz, and right behind is Elias Seppinen and Jonathan Hoggard. So it's still a 4-car fight, and look at that, pushing him through the bus stop once again. I think we should strap ourselves in again for the Kemmel Straight again, Peter.
Wow, and that is interesting there. I wonder if Booz is maybe serving a slowdown penalty. We just blended out the throttle there. Sandy Mitchell just blew by in the Black Bull Scotch Whisky machine, but we're riding on board with Jonathan Hoggard. This will get a great idea of what the drafting is like here at Spa as you head down towards. Oh, look at that, Seppinen and Booz juking it, going into Eau Rouge and up to Radion, and here we go. Has Hoggard got the slingshot? Not quite, but it looks like maybe Sandy Mitchell's going to be a little bit exposed here. He goes to the inside and 3 wide down towards Lake Combe. Here we go. Mitchell goes back behind again into the draft. Oh, and a little bit wide there for Seppinen. Oh, and Sandy Mitchell needs absolutely no invitation there. And I tell you what, Jonathan Hoggard, send us an invoice. Brilliant camera work there from the number 3 car.
Yeah, great job right there. As these guys are fighting it out, Robert DeHaan and Raoul Hyman were side by side up in front as well. So through goes Seppinen, and he's trying to keep Sandy Mitchell behind him through the no-name corner. Sandy Mitchell goes around the outside, shuts the door. Now here comes Jonathan Hoggard to the inside of P1. This is not going to be easy done as he comes up the inside of the fin right now. It's going to be very tight, but somehow Seppinen keeps his foot in around the outside, and we're on board again with our resident cameraman Jonathan Hoggard getting the full view right here as we head through the final chicane for the last time in heat race number 1. Just number 1. We still have another one to go, and we still have, of course, the consolation of the feature race. This is going to be mental later on in the feature race when they're fighting for position. But up front, there's been no issues for the man who took pole. There is Phil Dennis now. Well, actually, no, this is Robert De Haan trying to keep Raoul Hyman behind him for P2. This is crucial grid slots right here. Here they come towards Blanchimont. Where's Raoul Hyman going to go? He's going to have to be smart here. He's have to go to the outside of Blanchimont on the white flag lap. All the way around the outside for Raoul Hyman. There's going to be touching wheels as they come around Blanchimont. He has the inside for the bus stop chicane. Now here comes Raoul Hyman, and he gets on the brakes nice and late. Gets the job done. What a move from Raoul Hyman in the dying last few corners. Phil Dennis wins, Raoul Hyman P2, and then Robert De Haan, Bastien Boost hangs on for dear life behind with Sandy Mitchell, Seppinen and Hoggard, and then Anderson, Barnard, Jaden Conroy, and the last car to make it through will be Brandon Abraham in P15. He takes the last slots for the feature race later on. What a opening heat. We still have another one to go. That was unbelievable. What a move from Raoul Hyman. Absolutely brilliant.
Goodness me, we're going to have to fill you up with more gas, Jack. Jeez, what is that?
I'm out of water already.
Absolutely extraordinary stuff. And I guess that's when you put... Oh!
Oh,
when
God.
Oh, dear. When you put a lot of professional racing drivers together with no crash damage, Bill, that's what you get. But you know what? Amazing respect and just fantastic motorsport there. Really, really impressive. Let's get a look at the results then of that first opening race of what I'm sure will be a fantastic Ultimate eDriver series. We'll have them for you in just a moment. So 15 cars going through all the way to the final. 15 cars will go through from the second heat as well. Only 5 cars will go through from the second chance race, which is only 3 laps. So that will be, as you said, Jack, that will be absolute carnage.
Yeah, it's kind of got a reputation within the Ultimate eDriver series for being the most chaotic race of the whole whole day. So settle in for that one. I think we're just waiting for one last car to actually finish right here. It's actually Matthew Payne, who crashed earlier on. So he's going to be the last car to cross the line, the New Zealander in the Toyota Racing Series. So he's still managing to get across the line. That's something.
Indeed, and he gets full marks for running a Turner Motorsport Liqui Moly livery as well. Now, do you know what that yellow and blue livery comes from? It actually, Will Turner, the owner of Turner Motorsport, which is not a BMW team, they actually got the inspiration from a mid-90s Renault Laguna touring car.
Interesting.
There you go, which is in the yellow and blue. So looks like we're going to get a grid then for We'll run through the results very, very quickly. Phil Dean's then winning with Raoul Hyman and Robert De Haan rounding out the podium. Bastien Boost, Sandy Mitchell, Elias Seppinen, Jonathan Hoggard, Victor Anderson, Taylor Bernard, and Jaden Conroy rounding out the top 10. And the final 5 drivers getting a spot in the feature: Alfred Nielsen, Ollie Behrman, Josh Malin, Enzo Mucci, and Brandon Abram. I tell you what, Enzo will be happy getting straight through. Mike Epps will start on pole position with Alexei Nezov joining him on the front row. Eduardo Barrichello Jr. starting in third with Luke Bennett right beside. Alex Dunn starts from 5th alongside Ross Gunn, the Aston Martin factory driver. Christopher Lullum and Mikkel Hoggard. There you go, quite similar name there on row 4. Kasper Sutka and Kimi Antonelli start on row 5, followed by Dennis Hauger, the F3 star, alongside Sebastian Ogard. Gordon Mooch and Maddie Hingley start on the 7th row, followed by Matt Stevens, Ted Bradbury, Thiago Vivacqua, William Chadwick, Cian Donaldson, Liam McNeely, Bart Horston, Christopher Hamer, Def Gore, and Christopher Tarhan. We are already off behind the safety car, the Porsche 911 pace car in GT3 Touring spec, just about to pull off, and Mike Epps, the man in the 37 machine, will lead us away. What can he do today? Look at that, and he gets the slingshot there. Brilliant start from Mike Epps, leaves the rest absolutely fast asleep behind him and gets a clear run into La Source. So precious. Mike Epps will now try to break away, and we've got a spinner. Oh, dearie me, that's the 38 car. I think that was Ellis. No, that's Ross Gunn. Oh dear, not a good start for the Aston Martin star.
No, but great start from Mike Epps and a great one from Barrichello. And here comes now, we've You've got Bennett coming around the outside of Barrichello as well. Alex Dunn is getting himself in the mix there as they come down towards the chicane for the first time, fanning out nearly 4 wide as they head down towards the braking zone right here. Nessov losing spots here as Alex Dunn tries to get in front. Around the outside goes Bennett, and you can see now Nessov, who started on P2, he drops to P5. He's got Højgaard right behind him in P6, but Epps breaking out to 7/10 of a second right now. They fan out once again as they head down towards Brussels for the first time. Dunn to the inside, Nessov trying to go around the outside. That's very unorthodox for the inside line for No Name. Very interesting stuff for him there, but he's not quite able to get it done as they come through. Unbelievable. But Mike Epps, he's saying, keep fighting, boys. I'm just going to check out at front.
Yeah, Mike Epps is off at the front now. We know how good Mike Epps is, and I tell you why, Jack, because he managed to win a race at Le Mans with me as his co-driver. That is just how fast this man is out at the front, leading from Barrichello Jr. with Bennett there in third, Dunn in fourth, and fifth Alexei Nezov, the man who runs with HM Engineering. Whoa, what a slightly calmer start, slightly, but I just don't think it'll last.
No, as you can see, Matty Hingley here locked onto the rear wing of the Norwegian FIA F3 star Dennis Hauger to the outside line for Blanchimont. Watch out for Bradbury. Is he going to make it 3 wide as they head towards Blanchimont? He's got nowhere to go. He's going to push Hauger through Blanchimont. Round the outside goes Matty Hingley. Contact made, and he has to take to the runoff. Good job, there's runoff there, and he joins right back into the action as they head towards. There's been contact in front. Luke Bennett is around. Barrichello's involved as they head into the bus stop chicane. There's been a massive stack up of cars right here as we come through the last corner. There's a couple involved. It was Luke Bennett, who was in P3, Barrichello, who was P2. That's put Mike Epps to P1. Alex Dunn is into P2. Alexei Nessov P3. Then Højgaard, Kasper Stuka is up to P5, and the young Polish Carter is into that 5th spot. But Barrichello trying to make a move now as they come up towards Eau Rouge. He's going to go for the outside of Eau Rouge on Kasper Stuka. This is going to get very dicey as they come up the hill. But he has to back off up to the inside of Radion right now. He's alongside Stuka, but watch out for Chris Lullum, who's in the background trying to get himself involved right here. Here is Alexei Nessov, who just got in front of Alex Dunn. Dunn trying to look for some space right here. He's not going to have any as they head into there. They're 3 wide in the background for this spot. Stuka hangs on. Barrichello goes through as they head through the long chicane. But Chris Lullum comes out the big winner in that one. This is crazy. Oh, big winner in the background.
Bradbury's in the wall as well. Oh, and Gore just doing some rally. Oh, we've got it's carnage. Oh, it's absolute carnage. We've got a big attrition rate here further down the field. But I tell you what, I wonder if we can get a replay of that incident with Barrichello at the bus stop, because it's shaking the order up massively. Alexei Nezov, very much the biggest profiteer. He was in 5th, he's now in 2nd, but he's got done right on his case. So let's get a look then down towards the bus stop. Barrichello in 2nd, and whoa, huge big lunge on it. Oh dear. Oh dear, that was not so nice. Now, was that Bennett that spun there, trying to take a lunge on the brakes?
I think it was. I think he was the man behind him, so he's not going to be best pleased, I would imagine.
Trying to outbrake a Barrichello.
Yeah, that's not ideal. So this is Chris Tarhan. That's Ross Gunn behind him, who spun on lap number 1, remember, who was P4. But Alexei Nezov is under severe pressure from Alex Dunn. Look at this, Alex Dunn right behind him here in this next car. And now there's going to be only 2 laps to go next time by, but Dunn being very patient right here, right behind them. Only 14 years of age is Alex Dunn, and only lives about half an hour away from me. So I've got that home advantage going towards Alex Dunn right now.
Absolutely, yeah, he's doing a cracking job right now, is Alex Dunn, the really, really fast kart racer. Oh. And I tell you what, I think this format and this particular car is going to suit the karters for sure. It's got that agility, this Dallara F3 car made by the eponymous, the legendary Dallara factory in Italy, run by Mr. Giampaolo Dallara, who is now the ripe old age of 84 and still runs the company day to day. Still enjoys a nice
Here we go with the bump drafting again. Dunn is bump drafting Alexei Nezov down towards the chicane. He doesn't want to be in front because he knows the slipstream is so effective. He wants to hang there till the last lap. Look at this 3 wide in the background once again. Barrichello goes for it on Chris Lullum and gets it done. Lovely move around the outside of Les Combes, and now slots in behind Kasper Stuka. for P5. Watch out for Gordy Much. The Scotsman gets himself involved right now on the inside of Chris Lulham down towards Brussels. Not going to quite get that stopped. Might have a little run on the outside for No Name. He gets on the power nice and early versus Chris Lulham to the outside line of No Name. Not going to quite get there, but he does have Puon coming up next now for Gordy Much, the GT5 driver. He is just weaving around trying to get himself some space, but he has to hang behind the car of Chris Lulham for now. And we look back, there's Matt Stevens in P15, there's Luke Bennett in front of him, who of course was involved in that instant with Barrichello, and the man who's made up a ton of positions is Bart Horston in P13. He started way down the order in this race. So you can see he's up 8 spots from where he started. He's the biggest mover as far as we can see from where he began. So he's actually got himself at the moment a space in that feature race. So the British F3 driver doing an amazing job at the moment.
Indeed, yeah, of course, the top 15 going through. So at the moment, it's Stevens on the bubble, but Mike Epps, he doesn't need to worry about that. He's coming around Blanchimont for the penultimate time down towards the bus stop to take the white flag. 1 lap to go here in heat number 2 in the Ultimate eDriver Series. A fantastic start to the series. Now, just looking at the driver suit of this car of Hogard, he's got Gucci print overalls. That's an interesting choice, I have to say. Well, they make you go fast because he's just put the fastest lap of the race in. 2:11.6 there for Højgaard.
Mikkel Højgaard, obviously, yeah, the brand is making him go faster. Now we're going to see, is Alex Dillon going to go for this move? Remember, he was bump drafting Alexei Nesov down the straight last time. He should be able to make the move this time. Got a great run of Eau Rouge, and he should be able to slingshot his way past. There he goes, going to make the move. A little twitch from Nesov that time. He's got to keep his eye out for the Dane of Mikkel Højgaard as well. And in the background, you can see Barrichello going for it on Kasper Stuka, side by side with Gordy Much as well as they come now to the braking zone. Dunn's going to have to go around the outside. It's going to be very tricky. He leaves him the space. Alexei Nesov, great move. Can he make it stick as they come to the exit of the Lecom? Not quite around it. He goes all the way around the outside of the exit of the chicane. Mikkel Højgaard trying to find some space here, and Dunn shut the door. Lovely move from the Irishman. He gets it done for the Brussels down into the hairpin, but that was an excellent overtake. Really well done from Alex Dunn. Got the job done, you could say.
Absolutely, done and dusted. Brilliant stuff from the kart race, but that was a proper karting move to make the move stick there. But look at Højgaard, Mr. Gucci overalls going for the look up the inside. Oh, so close as they head down towards the Fania chicane. Oh no, surely not. Oh. Surely not. Oh,
no, that's not going to work.
Yep. Oh. You could sort of see that one coming as Barrichello comes through in the 91 car. 3-time race winner in USF 2000 this year.
Both disqualified, yeah.
Oh, both disqualified. Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, I think that they were both on the exit of they were on the instant limit as far as I could see there.
Right, okay. So we will explain that in a moment. Mike Epps then, coming around Blanchimont. This has been a classy drive, and Jack, it all started with that brilliant start. He really caught the others napping as soon as he straightened it up. But as soon as he straightened it up, coming out of the bus stop, it was enough. But look at this, Barrichello just hanging it around the outside, trying to get 3rd place. Tell you what, that young man has showed some amazing pace, but not as much as this man. Mike Epps in the number 37 sets his personal best on the final lap and wins the heat and gives himself a front row grid spot for the feature. Brilliant stuff.
Excellent stuff right then. The last man to get through, Cian Donaldson, the MX-5 driver from Scotland, and he gets through. The Scottish, yeah, he's always done well actually. Cian Donaldson, he just kind of keeps his head down and he picks up the places as people make mistakes. But yeah, Alexei Nesov, Mikkel Højgaard. Of course, there is an instant limit within iRacing, of course, and they were obviously right on the limit right there. And when you make contact with another car, it gives you 4 instant points. If you go off the track, it's 1. If you spin, it's 2. But that was never going to work there in that chicane. He just Mikkel Højgaard, he saw some space, but that space was always going to close, and that's really unfortunate for both of them right there. But they both ended up being disqualified. Let's have a look at it again. So Alexei Nesov in front, Mikkel Højgaard behind. He goes for the space right there, and it just it's so marginal. It's really unfortunate for both of them. But just tire on tire contact sent them both spinning, and obviously got them both disqualified from the race. But I mean, you can't fault them for trying. It was on, but it was very, very tight. It was very rarely going to work through there.
Well, I did say, oh, surely not. But normally, we're always surprised by the kind of moves that can be pulled off. But yeah, that was just one where there was a bottleneck and they both crashed into the top of it. So, starting from the back of the last chance race with only five places up for grabs, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed. Well, what a start here to the Ultimate eDriver Series, and it's going to be time shortly for that second chance race. Just 3 laps, that is all, and 5 cars going through. The rest of the field who have got their place, they'll be sitting with their feet up and a cup of tea watching in the comfort of their rigs right now. Hope it's a track racer rig. So, confirming then, Mike Epps, the British and Kiwi driver, he's got dual nationality and also former barista, wins by 1.9 seconds from Alex Dunn, the very impressive young Irish karter. Eduardo Barrichello Jr. rounds out the podium with Kasper Sutska in 4th, followed by Christopher Lullum, Gordon Mooch, Sebastian Ogard, Dennis Hauger, Liam McNeely, Bart Horston, Matty Hingley, Luke Bennett, Matt Stevens, Thiago Vivacqua, and Tian Donaldson gets the last spot in the feature race. So this is how they line up for the last chance saloon. Harry Cottrell and Eric Evans start on the front row, followed by Kiko Porto, Christopher Tarhan, Russell Soto and Will Chadwick. Watch for him, the 12 Hours of Snetterton solo endurance winner. Matthew Payne starting in 7th, followed by Ted Bradbury, Tom Emson, Alexei Nezov, Dino Beganovic and Mikkel Højgaard. Martinus Stenshorn, Dev Gore, Callum Bradshaw, Ross Gunn, Luke Browning, Kimmy Antonelli, Oliver Meadows, Flynn Milani, Dan Camish and Christopher Hamer. Round out 22 cars, 22 professional racing drivers, 5 cars go through. This should be interesting. Eric Evans and Harry Cottrell will lead us away. Who is going to take this one? Porsche 911 pace car about to pull in. Well, they have been watching Mike Epps' brilliant slingshot start. We're riding on board with Harry Cottrell, and he winds up the Dallara F3, and off we go for the Consolation race. A 3-lap sprint. 5 cars getting through. Down towards La Source they go, all giving a little bit of respect so far.
Yeah, good stuff. Actually, looking at the makeup, it's actually 10 cars make it through as far as I can see right here. So the top 10 go through, and that's Chadwick spinning in the first corner. And there's a lot of cars that didn't make the start either. So there's only 5 cars are not going to make it through. So that battle for 10th place is going to be very, very, very tight. So Harry Cottrell leads them away. Here comes Kiko Porto, the Brazilian, on Evans in front of him as they head down towards Lake Com. As this is going to get a little bit tight right here. So Porto has to back out, but switches back to the inside and trying to get in front. Can't quite do it. But interesting now, Alexei Nesov and Mikkel Højgaard are out together on track again. Big, huge one. Alexei Nesov, huge one into the barrier in Lake Com. That was a massive, massive crash. That was Alexei Nesov in the barrier once again. That was a massive, massive crash. Let's have a look at that one again, if we can. So as they come down, look at this. There were 3 abreast behind Alexei Nesov. He's going to get pinged off into the barrier here in just a second's time, and just bang, nothing he could have done right there.
He's in the trees.
It's from bad to worse for Alexei Nesov, and then there's another one as well, not too far away, but oh dear, that was huge. There's Tom Emson missing the rear wing, massive suspension damage on that car as well. Ted Bradbury is up to 11th. Chadwick, who spun in turn 1, has just managed to get himself back into the top 10 again. There's going to be even more chaos right here. This is what we've been talking about. This is a staple of this series. The Consolation race is just absolute craziness throughout.
Yep, it's last chance saloon. It's throw everything at it. Now, just looking a couple of cars up now, has Ross Gunn lost his rear wing as well? He's up to 7th position, but it may have just been a glitch on my screen there, but it did look like Ross Gunn's car is missing its rear wing in 7th position, but we'll see. Anyway, Cottrell off to a very calm start. He will be blissfully unaware of all the carnage happening beside him as, whoa, Evans and Kiko Porto have a right old ding-dong there. Kiko Porto with the Brazilian flag alongside on his number 45 machine, with Evans, the American, in the number 29, running a very similar livery to the Meyershank Honda Indy cars. What is, goodness me, where's Kiko Porto going? He's going for the, I don't even know if we can call that the karting line, can we?
No, not quite. Maybe the wet line, maybe, because he
the wet karting line.
Yeah, they're on board with Matthew Payne. Remember what happened to him in Heat Race 1? He was the last finisher. And look at this, he's now fighting for a spot. Here comes Kiko Porter, Eric Evans on Kiko Porter as they head towards Lake Com. On board with Matthew Payne, the New Zealander. Where is he going to go? He's going to have to go to that inside line. They make it 3 abreast and trying to go for P2 right here. Here comes the New Zealander. Can he get 2 in 1? No, he can get one of them at least. Great move from Matthew Payne, and he slots in behind Eric Evans for that P3 spot. Now, can he go for P2? Great exit out of Lake Com. Now going to switch to the inside for Brussels. Let's see if he can get it stopped on the brakes on the American. Through goes New Zealander up the inside. Can he get it done on the power? He's going to have to give some space to Eric Evans. He's still there on the inside for No Name, and round he goes. Contacted into the wall for Matthew Payne. Such a shame for Matthew Payne. Another spinner. That's Dev Gore spinning in No Name as well. So there's absolute chaos reigning here in the consolation race as well. Dev Gore spinning in No Name by himself right there. Well, let's have a look at this again. This was unfortunate. Matthew Payne trying to hang on, and there was a little bit of contact from Eric Evans in the rear as he went through and just straight into the wall from Matthew Payne, and nothing he could do right there. And then Dev Gore arrives by himself and spins in the background, so he managed to keep it out of the wall as well, did Dev Gore, but a shame for Matthew Payne really, because he managed to get through very, very well. But that's promoted now. Mikkel Højgaard into that 4th place. And a different New Zealander slots into P5 right now. Milani slots into P5.
Yep, indeed. That was just a bit of a pity there. Payne maybe just a tad on the impatient side. But like you say, like we've talked about, you don't really have the time to dither around. You've got to go to the front as soon as you possibly can. But a brilliant battle there for 2nd position between Evans and Porto as we look back at Gore. He's recovered. He's in 8th place right now. Now, he's trying to get past Will Chadwick. Oh, they bang Hankook tyres. Now, where did Chadwick go? Has he made it through? There he is. Yes, just about. Goodness me, Will Chadwick has had a very eventful race. We saw him crashing, spinning after turn 1, and I think he's maybe got some suspension damage. Oh.
I think he missed the chicane
penalty.
When they made contact.
Even though he was helped there, that's very.
I think he had to take to the escape road that time when he got that lunge put on him. So yeah, so he would have had to take a slowdown after that, of course. But so William Chadwick, he hasn't had. This has been a real race of attrition for William Chadwick. So let's have a look here. So as he coming through Blanchimont, here comes Dev Gore on his inside. He's going to miss the chicane with a little bang of the wheels. Yeah, has to cut across, and that is now going to, of course, cost him a chunk of time. But of course, because of this race of attrition, there's only 10 cars left. They're all going to make it through. So so
we have 10 cars, not 5 cars.
To make it through, according to the iRacing setup right here.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if this is a glitch. I'm not sure if you're seeing this as well, Peter. But is Mikkel Højgaard missing the rear wing?
Yeah, he's in a Dallara Formula Ford car, or what was the Formula Ford car. That's got to be tricky going through. Well, this particular corner, Pujon, which is where you really need those fancy carbon fibre wings to push your car down into the ground, and he's not got it. It might just be a glitch, but it doesn't appear to be slowing him down. I tell you what, I'm going to get myself a pair of what look like knockoff Gucci overalls.
Yeah, it seems to be helping. It does seem to be helping him a little bit here with the extra speed. It does look like a real handful though through some of those corners. He is getting the help for the slipstream from Milani in front. But this man's had absolutely no problems at all. Harry Cottrell, the karter from the UK, going to take the win in the consolation race, and he'll line up on the back of the grid, of course, in the final couple of rows. So he crossed the line. He takes the win. Pole to flag victory for Harry Cottrell. Kiko Porto P2, and then just behind him will be Eric Evans in 3rd, and then we wait for Milani and Højgaard, who gets that car across the line. He's going to lose that spot to Stenshorn. Not quite, so he holds on for P5 in this one. Stenshorn, then William Chadwick. He's had a big attritional race in this one, but he gets P7. Dev Gore, Bradbury, and another car missing the rear wing is Tom Empson. He gets across the line. He's done the whole race with no rear wing, so fair play. Certainly deserves a spot after that one.
Definitely. It kind of looks like an Indy 500 special now, like that as well, as we see, oh dearie me, for the number 27 car of Payne, he's going to be the only man to finish who's not going to get a spot in the feature. So unlucky to get helped into the wall at the Jackie X left-hander, previously known as No Name. Well, what a pity for that young man. But the good thing about the Ultimate eDriver series is that we only have a very short amount of time before we're back and running again in a mystery car and mystery track. We should mention that the drivers only found out what car and track they would be driving this morning, so no time to spend endless hours tuning setups, etc. All down to the skill of the driver, and driver skill is something that we are absolutely not short of here in the Ultimate eDriver series, thanks to our sponsor Track Racer. If you want to install a simulation rig in your house, give Track Racer a call. They produce beautiful equipment and will allow you to get involved in the wonderful world that is sim racing. And you can see, of course, Jack, these guys all race for a living or have the aspirations to, and they look like they're having a whole load of fun out there today. But let's take a look through the grid for our feature race, the main event. Phil Deans will start on pole position alongside Mike Epps in the number 37 car. Raoul Hyman starts from third alongside Alex Dunn, the young Irish karting star. Robert Dehaan starts from fifth with Eduardo Barrichello in sixth. Bastian Buss and Kasper Sutka will start on row 4, followed by Sandy Mitchell and Christopher Lullum. Elias Seppinen starts from 11th with Gordon Mooch in 12th. Jonathan Hoggard will start from 13th with Sebastian Ogard in 14th. Row 8 will have Victor Anderson and Dennis Hauger, followed by Taylor Bernard, Liam McNally, Jaden Conroy, Bart Horston, Alfred Nielsen, Matty Hingley, Ollie Behrman, and Luke Bennett, rounding out the top couple of dozen. Josh Malin, Matt Stevens, Enzo Mucci, Tiago Vavqua, Brandon Abram, and Cian Donaldson round out our automatic qualifiers. And those coming through from the second chance race: Harry Cottrell, Kiko Porto, Eric Evans, Flynn Milani, Mikkel Højgaard, Martinus Stenshorn, and finally, the last few: William Chadwick, Dev Gore, Ted Bradbury, and Tom Empson, just in time, ready to go. You can see Mike Epps and Phil Deans. Look at that, Mike Epps really working the steering wheel hard, trying to generate tyre temperature. He was telling us that the tyres really don't come in until 4 or 5 laps in. What is going to happen here? Will Phil Deans get a good start in that number 11 Burosud competition? We are ready. We are green, green, green here at Spa for the Ultimate eDriver series. It's a good start from Phil Deans, and look at Raoul Hyman getting a great launch off the start into La Source they go. It's going to be really tight through there. Mike Epps goes off, Raoul Hyman goes off, and they get back on the power, but Phil Deans got off to an absolute flyer, Jack.
What he wants to do up Eau Rouge for the first time. Hyman with a big train of cars behind him. Got Mike Epps, Robert Dehaan, Alex Dunn, Bastian Buss and Barrichello in there as well as they head down towards Lake Como. This is going to get very, very messy as they head down towards Lake Como for the first time. Dennis trying to weave to break the toe. He's trying to give Hyman the toe as they head down towards the Lake Como chicane. Mike Epps slots to P2. Alex Dunn gets spun around in Lake Como. Alex Dunn got a tap from behind. He's into the grass with a couple of others as well. There was a few others that got sent around as well. I think Elias Seppinen was another one who got sent into the grass on that time by. But unfortunate for Alex Dunn, he's running very, very well there. But now you can see Ogard and Hauger fighting it out here. This is going to get very, very interesting. Taylor Barnard, Victor Anderson in this one as well as they head through No Name for the first time. 8 laps await them. But look at that train as they head through Pouhon. You see Phil Denez in the lead, but Mike Epps is going with him. He's keeping in that slipstream. Raoul Hyman is P3. Bastian Buss, another off in that was in Pouhon. That's a number of cars right there. That's Liam McNeely, and I think that's Victor Anderson. Oh, that's big damage on the rear of that one. He's not going to get that one going anytime soon. But Phil Denez leads. Mike Epps is P2. Raoul Hyman is third. Bastian Buss and Robert Dehaan are your top 5 after once again a chaotic lap 1.
Yep, so we've got current Road to Indy driver Phil Deans, and Mike Epps did actually run in the Road to Indy in the USF 2000 back in 2013 before his stint in the British Touring Car Championship. So a little bit of common experience there between our top 2 drivers right now. Look at Sandy Mitchell here in the number 19 car, getting his elbows out there. Oh, it's very, very close there. He's battling along with it. That's Gordon Mooch in the number 48. Whoa, this is busy along here, and such a shame for Alex Dunn there at into Le Combe there on the first lap. There was just no room left on the circuit. It was 4 cars wide, and he was the unlucky one. Oh my word, that's a big accident in the background.
And you can see now, we look through, this is the big stack up behind. This is Matt Stevens and Abraham Jaden Conrad, Alfred Nilsson. On the way back there is Alex Dunn, all the way down in 26th spot right now as we head back to the front once again. Look at this Bastian boost, back with the bump drafting down towards Lecom, giving Mike Epps that boost of speed he needs as he comes out. Oh, Raoul Hyman's had an off. Raoul Hyman is slow on the straight. And a couple of others, Chris Lulham trying to get in front. Dennis Hauger's getting in the mix now with Jonathan Hogarth and Gordy Much as well, trying to go around the outside of Hogarth on the exit of the lake. Coman does get in front, so the Scotsman gets himself into P9. But Dennis Hauger, the big winner out of the chaos that just happened down the Kemmel Straight right there, as Ollie Behrman is up to P12 right now, about just behind Josh Malin, with Raoul Hyman in the middle of that field. Elias Sepp and then Matt Stevens is in this one as well. So this is really, really close racing. So if you make one mistake, you can see Raoul Hyman went from P3 down to P14 in the space of one straight.
Goodness, this is like a Moto3 race. Absolutely extraordinary. Of course, normally in most races you see a kind of reducing scale of talent as you go further back in the field, but here it's just high everywhere. You've got professional racing drivers up and down the entirety of the field, and this is what you're seeing. It's so, track position so important. It's Phil Dean's now just edging up to about 9/10 of a second, and really important. If he can break over that magic second from Mike Epps, he can start to break away, because as you can see, the aerodynamic slipstream effect is massively important. You can see here to ride on board with Raoul Hyman, who whoa, jeepers creepers. We've seen a lot of guys run wide there, but goodness me, Jack, Raoul Hyman, the curse of feature races continues for the South African. Oh, he carries on. Oh, he's lost the wheel. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, what does he have to do to get some luck in the feature races?
It never seems to go the way of him right there. But now we go back to the top 7 battle. As you can see, the car in front, there is a car behind Barrichello right there. It's Chris Lulham pushing him up Eau Rouge as they head up down the Kemmel Straight once again, on board with Sandy Mitchell, giving us these great shots. Look at the slipstream he's going to get as they head towards Lake Como. I can assure you, Barrichello is there somewhere. There he is. Chris Lulham going to go to the inside of Lake Como right now, late on the brakes. Does he get it done on Barrichello? Yes, he does. Can Mitchell get through? No. Side by side in front, by the way. Bastien Boost gets in front of Robert Zahan for P3 as well. So there's been swapping to and fro, but now once again we have a 5-car fight for that 3rd spot, and Phil Dennis is checking out a front 1.2 in front of Mike Epps, and Mike Epps does not want to fall into this train right now. He needs to keep in front as much as he possibly can, but let's see if these guys are going to work together, or are they going to battle? I'm pretty sure it's going to be the latter.
Absolutely, a brilliant camera work there from Sandy Mitchell as well, the number 19 car. Noticed, I didn't realise he was sponsored by Tunnix, the creator of the wonderful caramel wafer and also the snowball and the Tunnix tea cake as well. Brilliant treats. I mean, Spot the Scottish driver, sponsored by a chocolate company and a Scotch whisky company. Fantastic stuff. And a Lamborghini factory driver. Does it get any better, Jack?
Obviously not. But let's see, Robert Zahan's about to come back at Bastien Boost right here. So the Dutch driver going to slipstream past the Danish driver. Watch out for Chris Lulham. He's going to be watching with a very interesting now. Sandy Mitchell and Barrichello as well in the background. So here comes Robert Zahan. He does get in front. Lulham trying to find some space. Sandy Mitchell does get in front of Barrichello, and again a bump draft from Bastien Boost right there. Look at this, and around the outside goes Chris Lulham. He catches Bastien Boost napping and gets in front. Now with the cutback line for Bastien Boost, though, he gets a good run down towards La Source for the 4th time of asking. These guys are nose to tail, trying to find space. Zahan trying to keep them in front right here as they head through La Source. Sandy Mitchell on the outside of Bastien Boost as well through turn 1, out to the wet karting line, we like to call it right now. But now Barrichello is coming back at Sandy Mitchell as they head towards Eau Rouge, side by side. This is going to get very interesting between these two. Sandy Mitchell on the right hand side of your picture, Barrichello slots in front just before they get there, but this is just non-stop, and this is what we love about this series.
Oh, just absolutely superb racing. And the thing I love about this, Jack, is we see close racing a lot, but it often results in... Whoa! Oh, well, oh, I cursed that one. Oh, my word. Oh, he's got no steering at all there. His boost. Now, I think he's got away with it. He's got away with that
somehow.
big
He's still
style.
going.
Yeah, he's got away with that big style. Oh. Let's ride on board then with Boost. I thought he was done for here. Let's see, Bastian Boost in the number 99 car gets a huge run, and actually, oh, that cheeky. Oh dear. Oh dear, the number 46 machine
he did
there
not lift
just
at all
covering his
that whole
path.
time.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, and more problems. Oh
really,
dear,
he got
Barrichello
turned
getting
around in
critical
Brussels
too.
as well. This has just gone from bad to worse for Bastian Boost, unfortunately. I don't know how he got away with that first one on the Kemmel straight, but Bastian Boost is out. So he got turned around by Barrichello, it looks like, in Brussels as well. So he got away with the Kemmel straight one, but not been a good day for Bastian Boost, unfortunately. Came out on the worst end of that one. Phil Den is now 2 seconds in front of Mike Epps right now. Chris Lullum is in front of Robert De Haan now for P3. Sandy Mitchell is P5, and now Dennis Hauger wants a piece of the action on Sandy Mitchell. Here he comes, the Norwegian FIA Formula 3 ace, trying to get in front of Sandy Mitchell right here. He's going to hang back, I think, as he heads into there. Barrichello now, he's going to fall down the order. You can see the front wing damage from the contact, and he's going to come in to the pit lane. There is, he has to pit for damage. Unfortunately, in Boost in Brussels. And of course, Sandy Mitchell going around with damage as well. And the fastest man on the track right now is the Flying Finn Elias Seppänen in P11 as he chases after Bart Horsten. And it has all come undone from such a fantastic battle we were having earlier on. It's spread out, unfortunately, but those things happen. But the racing in this series can get very, very aggressive at times. Here comes Dennis Hauger. He's going to slot in front of Sandy Mitchell. Of course, Sandy carrying damage. Dennis Hauger immediately defends that one, and they head towards Les Combes and get in front. So the man is heading to Prema for next season. He's in P5 now. He's got Robert De Haan in front of him now.
Yeah, brilliant battling there. Dennis Hauger, of course, running, like you say, FIA F3 start, Red Bull back driver, and we know what that train of talent can provide, of course, with Red Bull having their own, having two, for not one but two Formula 1 teams, so 4 seats, which, as we know, they juggle about with glee, or not so much glee sometimes. But it doesn't, interesting here, Sandy Mitchell's number 19 car, although is maybe nursing a little bit of damage, doesn't seem to be holding him back too much so far, able to sit in behind Dennis Hauger here, Jack.
Yeah, I think he's getting helped along with that slipstream. Once you're in the tow, it will certainly help him out. He's going to hope that Hauger can maybe drag him up to the back of the two cars in front, which is Robert De Haan and Chris Lullum, who are in P4 and P3. Jonathan Hoggard is about a second behind them as well. So we'll see if Sandy Mitchell can maybe get back past the Norwegian here as they head towards Blanchimont. He's getting a lovely run, topping 150 miles an hour. He's head towards Blanchimont. He's going to go for a move here. He's going to have to back off. Going to hang behind, he's going to wait for the bus stop, or maybe just going to try and sit behind them for the entirety of this one to see if he can maybe get dragged along. I think that's what Sandy Mitchell is thinking right now. He's going to get dragged along. Here we are with two Gennett GT5 drivers right here, Josh Malin and Gordy Much in P8 and P9, fighting in Formula 3 cars, interesting stuff. And Jonathan Hoggard, he's about to climb onto the back of these two as well. But I think Sandy Mitchell is just hanging behind Dennis Hauger because he knows he's faster. He's not going to break away. So the best he can do is maybe just get towed along for a little while.
I think that's a very, very wise call if that's what he's doing. We'll get a great impression here. Look, he's just got that little bit more corner speed there. Look through Eau Rouge. Fantastic there from Sandy Mitchell. Very, very smooth. Bump draft time indeed. So it doesn't quite want to go by. He just wants to push him along. This is like what we see in the Scottish Legends at Knockhill. That's maybe where Sandy's got this trick from as well. Now that's telling, because if he had a healthy car there, Jack, he would be able to blow by with the draft, but he didn't. And like you say, going for the bump draft. And Dennis Hauger, I don't know if he'll be enjoying being the tow hook for the caravan here.
No, because it can very easily go wrong in a Formula 3 car, so he's going to hope that Sandy Mitchell hangs back as well. But I noticed that another driver was doing it as well, Gordy Much on Josh Malin. They were also bump drafting down the Kemmel Straight. Of course, well, they're more used to it in Ginetta GT5s. It's more likely where you'd probably see it as well. But
cheaper panels.
You can see Sandy Mitchell, yeah, cheaper panels than certainly Formula 3 cars, much more expensive, but Dennis Hogg is not making inroads on Robert DeHaan here, so they're not going to really make any more positions. There is Alex Dunn, he's carrying damage as well. He's got Cian Donaldson behind him in P17. Then William Chadwick is the next car behind, and Harry Cottrell in P19. They're the guys who made it through in the Consolation race. So once again, you get an idea of just how strong the toe is here. You can see how quickly Sandy Mitchell will get up to the back of Dennis Hauger here as they come through Blanchimont, but he's going to just back himself out of the throttle here, and he's just going to give him another little nudge down towards the bus stop, back off once again. It's great. It is great stuff. It's great driving. I love to watch it.
That is a wee bit cheeky, actually, to have a little bump in just as you're hitting the braking zone. And Dennis Hauger saying, "Hey, come on, I'm giving you a favour here, towing your damaged Dallara around." Fantastic stuff. But it's going to be great camaraderie amongst the drivers as well. I'm sure they're all connected up on Discord or some sort of voice connection. I'm sure there'll be banter galore between. You can imagine the what can you say? You can imagine the not ego is not the right word, but you can imagine the confidence of each of these drivers. Of course, they're all at the very top of their game, and when you put them all together in equal cars, properly equal cars. Look at this bump drafting all the way down the Kemmel Straight. Wow. Now, interestingly, Sandy taking absolutely no risks on the brakes. Dennis Hauger much later on the brakes. Now, I wonder if Hauger's maybe trying to break away, saying, "Just get off my back, man."
Yeah, I think so. I think he really doesn't want him there. That's for certain. Now we might be having a battle shortly for P2 because Chris Lulham has made big inroads on Mike Epps, as has Robert DeHaan. They're all closing in on this map. There's only a lap and a half left to run here. So Sandy Mitchell, I think he's going to have to go for a last-ditch overtake. I think he's going to hang in there as best he can, try and make an overtake here on the Norwegian. But this is the battle we want to keep our eye on now, is Mike Epps, Chris Lulham and Robert DeHaan, who's not too far behind. But once these guys start battling, DeHaan will close in behind. There he is. Just see a glimpse of Hauger and Mitchell in the background as well as they come to the finish chicane. But Phil Dennis is just gone. He's 3.5 seconds clear out front in clean air. So at the fastest lap of the race while in clean air, no slipstream or nothing. Very impressive from the American. And we're now going to see a great conclusion to this race. The white flag will come into the air on this lap. And Mike Epps is now going to hang on for dear life versus Chris Lulham.
He does indeed, yeah. And for those, of course, here in the Ultimate eDriver Series, the next round will be in a completely different circuit and car. Now, if you're thinking, well, maybe Phil Deans he's a USF 2000 driver, maybe he's a single-seater expert. I can tell you, he's fast in anything here on the iRacing Simulator. Watched him dominate in a Porsche 911 RSR in the Racing Edge series. And speaking of Racing Edge, Jack, they've got a Corvette C7R on for sale at the moment. For one of the proper Pratt & Miller cars, the number 3 cars, $950,000. So if you want to help me rob a bank, I might need a hand if you don't mind. But Phil Deans, yeah, he's super quick, and racing for the Bureau Sud competition team, they've been one of the real rising stars in sim racing in the last couple of years.
What's happened to Dennis Hauger? Oh, we got a touch from Sandy Mitchell. Oh no. And that's disqualified him. That's unfortunate. Sandy unfortunately went into the back of Hauger, and that's disqualified him. And then to what was a great battle between both of them, but we've just gone back to the live action. Chris Lulham in front of Mike Epps for P2. He's got it done on his fellow countryman. Let's have a look here and see how he did it. Did he just do it down the Kemmel Straight? Was it a simple slipstream past Mike Epps? As they come down the Kemmel Straight, where does he go? Does he go to the inside or the outside? Goes to the inside and manages to get it done on Mike Epps. So Chris Lulham, great drive. He gets himself into P2 and hasn't got long to go. And Sandy Mitchell is unfortunately out of this race now as well. So what was a great race between both of them is not going to end like we thought. But A man who's led from literally lights to flag. He's had nobody troubling him whatsoever. This has been pure domination. The American Phil Denez, absolutely sublime, and kicks off the championship in style. The Indy Pro 2000 driver, which is also a car that's on the iRacing platform, he'll be hoping that they choose that car one time, but he's certainly dominated today through the bus stop chicane. Here comes Phil Denez. He wins round 1 of the Ultimate eDriver Series here on Apex Racing TV. Chris Lullum drives to a great P2. Mike Epps is P3. Robert Zahan in P4. It'll be Jonathan Hogarth for P5. And look at this, Bart Horston trying to get in front of Gordy Much to the line. It's going to be very close, but Gordy Much will hang on for 7th. Bart Horston is P8. Elias Sepinen in P9. Vivacqua, Stevens, Kiko Porto is P12. Alex Dunn to P13. William Chadwick, Cian Donaldson, Eduardo Barrichello will be P16. And then Ted Bradbury will be P17. He'll be the disqualified. A couple of drivers disqualified here. Barrichello disqualified, Porto disqualified, and I still have a few more cars to come. Victor Anderson is one of them. Enzo Mucci is another one, and Eric Evans as well will be the next one to cross line. But loads of disqualifications right at the death right there. But this has been mental. We've got another few races of this to come, and we only have 2 days to wait till the next one. We've got a race every single 2 days, different car, different track. We don't know where we're going. That's the beauty of it.
It is. What will it be? I get the impression it'll be the opposite of this. So maybe it might be a street circuit, might be a touring car. Who knows? That's only a guess. That is, I have no inside information on that. So, but will the result be any different? I think what's going to be fascinating to see, Jack, is do we see some drivers who specialise in certain types of car? I mean, we mentioned it before the broadcast when we were chatting, the F3 car around Spa. I mean, you couldn't get a more pure test of driving. I mean, a lot of the drivers love Spa just because it's such a challenge for a driver, and in a single-seater car, no hybrid system, none of that nonsense, no DRS. It's just pure motorsport, and I'm sure the guys all had a lot of fun out there today at a virtual Spa. So we're just waiting for the last couple of cars to come across the line. Number 29 of Evans, and there we have it. Let's have a look then at the results for this race and confirm our winner, Phil Deans. So there you go. Oh, that is not that's the results from the Consolation. Oh, it's been a big shift. There we go. Phil Deans then wins by just under 4 seconds from Christopher Lullum, with Mike Epps, the flying barista, 4.7 seconds in arrears and finishing on the podium. Great drive from him. Robert Hahn was 4th, with Jonathan Hogarth 5th, Josh Malin 6th, Gordon Much 7th, Bart Horston in 8th, Elias Sepinen in 9th, Tiago Vivacqua in 10th. Matt Stevens was 11th, followed by Alex Dunn. Good drive back through the field from Alex Dunn. William Chadwick was 13th, Cian Donaldson 14th, Ted Bradbury in 15th, and Victor Anderson finishing in 16th. Enzo Mucci, our host for this Ultimate eDriver Series, finished 17th, with Eric Evans in 18th. The rest of the drivers all a lap off the lead lap. Dennis Hauger taken out by Sandy Mitchell on the penultimate lap, with Ollie Behrman 21st, followed by Kiko Porto, Harry Cottrell, Eduardo Barrichello, Dev Gore, Flynn Milani, Bastian Boost and Tom Emson. Still quite a few more. Brandon Abraham, Jaden Conright, Alfred Nielsen, Matty Hingley, Mikael Højgaard, Kasper Suzuka, Raoul Hyman, Martinez Stenshorn, Sebastian Ogard, Taylor Bernard, and we have 2 more right at the bottom here, Luke Bennett and Liam McNally. Well, what an opening round that has been to our Ultimate eDriver Series, and we have our first race winner waiting to have a chat with us. We have Phil Deans, down as Philippe on the Discord here, but let's get him in to have a chat. Phil, it's Peter here in the commentary box. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Very well. How are you, sir? What a great drive.
Yeah, thank you. I felt really comfortable at the track. You know, this is my first race under the new PS competition colors. I just got announced yesterday, and really happy to get this win with my new team. And, you know, it was a good one.
It certainly was. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the BS competition team had a lot of success. They dominated the IMSA iRacing Triple Crown. Now, you're part of the Road to Indy ladder, Phil. What's the plans for the upcoming season?
It's all up in the air at the moment. I have a few options, and we just got to decide what's best for me and see how it's going to play out.
Well, you certainly proved there that single-seaters are the place to be. You had a good battle there with Mike in the early stages. Where were you just pulling a little bit of time on him? It looked close from our side, but from your driver's seat, where did you have the edge?
Well, I knew that I had to get a really good start off the bat to break the draft, and I know that the draft works within 0.6 of a second, and if I could break that gap, then I would just have to put my head down and lay the laps down, and that's exactly what I did, and got the job done in the end.
You certainly did indeed, Phil. A great drive. Well, normally I would say we're off to whatever circuit, but who knows? We don't know what to expect for 2 days' time. Before we let you go and enjoy this first win in the Ultimate eDriver Series, who would you like to give a shout out to here on Apex Racing TV?
Well, I'd like to give a shout out to BS Competition, of course. It's a great place, and I'm really happy to be joining them. I'd like to thank the series for putting on such a great series. I mean, I love the concept of getting the track and car announced right before the race, and no one really being able to adapt as fast and trying to figure everything out last second is much more proper, I think, than being able to practice as much as you want for a race. And, I'd like to thank my family and everyone supporting me. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Well, Phil, congratulations on winning with, as you say, a stellar field and with no prep time at all. Brilliant stuff. We'll look forward to chatting again in the next few days.
Thank you very much.
So that was Phil Deans, our race winner, and I think it's only right that my fellow Irish colleague Jack Canan speaks to our young karting sensation Alex Dunn, who joins us now.
That's a good point, actually. Alex, welcome to the commentary box. Great to have you in. It wasn't the best day for you, I'd assume, in the feature race. Got spun around in Les Combes, but I mean, it must feel good. You've got some big names on this grid. It must feel good going up against them when you're only in karting yourself.
To be honest, the main thing I wasn't really thinking about who I was racing against. So I was kind of just focusing on trying to win the race. But I got I had a good first heat, going from P5 to P2, and then in the final, I went for a risky move around the outside at Les Combes, but it ended in tears. But it's not really much I could do.
Yeah, obviously this series it's unusual as well in that you only find out what car you're driving on the day, what track you're driving on the day. We don't know where we're going in 2 days' time, but what would you like to be driving in the next 2 days? What would you like to see on the calendar?
I'd be quite happy with GT3 or GTE, and track I don't really know. I like most of the tracks on this game, so whatever it is, I'll be quite happy.
Yeah, good stuff. And obviously you're in karting yourself. What's the plans for 2021 heading forward?
We haven't decided yet. We're obviously we did karting last year, but I think also we're having a look at formulas for next year. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Good stuff. Looking forward to see how that pans out for you, Alex. But thanks for joining us, and best of luck in the next round in 2 days' time.
Thank you.
So formulas possibly for Alex Dunn. Keep an eye out for that, lad.
Well, in true racing driver fashion, they're all keeping their cards very close to their chest, aren't they, Jack? They're saying, "Oh, we'll see. We'll see what the options are." But it sounds to be very exciting indeed. Well, that is unfortunately all we have time for here on Apex Racing TV.
Peter, we have 15 minutes. Don't grab that out that early.
My apologies. My apologies. Oh, we've got loads of time. Oh, excellent. Well, we can.
I know
chat
you
about
don't like me, Peter, but there's.
Well,
guys. Sorry, hello everyone. I'm Italian and I'm very, very hungry. So I would love to have my dinner 15 minutes earlier, but I think we have a very crowded interview room.
Yeah, we certainly need to get through them.
I don't know if Peter wants to go and grab a dinner for everyone while we do the interviews.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd like my cooking very much, Marco. That's for sure.
When I'm hungry, not angry, I eat everything.
Both hungry and angry. Well, why don't we get? Let's have a chat with Will Chadwick. No relation to Jamie Chadwick, I might say. Well, welcome to the Apex Racing TV commentary box. We nearly closed off there, but Jack, as always, is keeping me right. How was that race for you, sir?
Oh, it was really eventful. I mean, we had a bit of a nightmare, safe to say, in the first feature race in the Consolation. We got through in the Consolation, but I'm sure you saw me absolutely light the rears up like an idiot. But no, that was excellent. I think I came from 37th to 13th in the end, which was a nice little run. Spa's in F3 round Spa is always a challenging race to end up with no damage on the car, which is but we did all right. I was happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the line, it's a star-studded lineup with people from all different kinds of discipline. A lot of single-seater drivers in there. I know you do a lot of karting, but really it can't have been as tough as closing out the solo 12 hours of Snetterton though in a Porsche Cayman. No,
that was a challenge indeed. That was fun. I like the way you keep bringing that up. It's one of my best achievements. But yeah, no, it's all different challenges at the end of the day, and it's a load of fun. This league, it's absolutely great. Even in the first round, there's a bit of issues with driving standards, but it's no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's always going to happen, really, especially with it being Spa and the X's and stuff like that on iRacing.
well, I think when you put 40 professional racing drivers in single seaters with no damage bill, that's the result you get. And of course nobody wants to yield. It makes for fantastic. It was certainly on a jealous point of view. Jack and I certainly enjoy it from the commentary box. Now, looking ahead, we don't know where we're going in the next round in a few days' time, but what would you like it to be? And you can't say Porsche Cayman at Snetterton.
Oh well, I like some at Silverstone because that tends to be my strong point. So we'll say Silverstone and maybe some good old GT3 cars. Love a good bit of GT3 racing. Nothing wrong with that. And maybe we'll be a bit higher up than we were. We struggle in quali, but GT3s it tends to be my strong point on iRacing. So hopefully we can head into some of those. That'd be very good.
Well, we've had 2 votes now for GT3, so I think that's it doomed. We're not getting GT3 now. I don't know. We don't know, but we will look forward to it. Well, before we let you go, who would you like to shout out to here on Apex TV?
All the guys I was just in Discord with, we were having a right laugh, Mail-in, Epps, everyone like that. It was all a bit of fun, Vibe Esports, and just everyone in general, really. IMB Racewear for providing me these absolutely excellent gloves that I have. And that's definitely why I was able to come through 24 places there. Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks, Will. Speak soon. Who shall we get next? Well, why don't, carrying on the Irish theme, Jack, why don't we speak to Flynn Milani?
I don't think he's Irish.
Oh, God.
Very Irish now. I think he's New Zealander. But...
We need to find out about that. Over to you.
Yeah, certainly. Flynn, can you hear us? There we go. So, yeah, can we just confirm? Obviously, Peter has been talking constantly about how I need to interview Irish people. Can we just confirm that you're New Zealander?
Yes, I am New Zealander.
Thank you. Here we go.
Yeah, no doubt there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Flynn, it's a great opening round. It's F3s at Spa. I know you're more used to a Formula 4, but they're just a little bit faster than that. But yeah, how was the race for you today? There was a lot of chaos from looking at it from our end, but how was it for you?
So it was definitely chaotic in specific areas of the race, but I definitely think when we did the second race, I definitely did really well. I went from 20th down to 4th, so I was pretty happy with that. And only waking up this morning at 5 in the morning, so wasn't really used to the car and the track, so I'm pretty stoked with the results either way.
Yeah, certainly. We do forget about that, the time zone differences of 5 a.m. getting straight up to race,
Yeah.
So props for the commitment. But yeah, obviously we don't know where we're going in 2 days' time down the road, but what would you like to see in the next couple of days? What track car combo would you really like to have a go at?
Yeah, I actually really like the Formula 3 cars. It's just like I'm not too used to a lot of the European tracks, so anything like in Australia or Japan, that'd be definitely more ideal for me.
Yeah, certainly. And Obviously, you're competing in New Zealand Formula Ford. What's the plans for 2021 for you?
Yeah, so we've been doing really well at the moment in the Formula Ford Championship. I'm currently 4th in the North Island Series, so we're hoping to try to hopefully get overseas this year, but if other plans don't go up to plan, then we've got some backups as well, so yeah.
Well, fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining us, Flynn. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to say a quick thank you to on Apex Racing TV?
I'd like to say a massive thank you to one of my sponsors, Next Level Racing, for letting me use sim racing in general. It's been a massive help because of them.
Great stuff. Well, thanks for joining us, Flynn. We'll see you hopefully on the grid in 2 days' time. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much.
So that's 100% a New Zealander. We can definitely hear it in him.
Yeah, there's absolutely no dubiety there in where young Flynn comes from. It actually sounds like a young Scott Dixon.
Certainly does, actually. You can hear the
Drives
comparison
like him
there.
too.
Yeah.
Well, we have just one final note before we do finish this evening's broadcast. We are back on Monday for the next round of the Ultimate eDriver Series. Where will we race? What will we drive? We don't know, but we know we will get some fantastic action. Also, thanks to the Racing Driver Show by Enzo Mucci and Track Racer Simulation Rigs for their support of this series. The winners of each heat race tonight receive $20, with the winner of the feature race, Phil Dean's, $100, and the overall champion will get a $250 Track Racer voucher to upgrade their sim racing equipment. Join us back here on Monday night. Myself and Jack Canan will bring you all of the action, with Marco Barbanera bringing all of the beautiful images and graphics for the broadcast. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the Ultimate eDriver Series, and we'll see you in a couple of days' time. Good night.